Hey guys, Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. So this is video 3 out of 3 in the Sweet Citrus Stamp a Stack class. If you missed video 1 and 2, they're linked below. And let's get started with Thanks a Bunch, our final design in the Sweet Citrus Stamp a Stack. Now there are class packets available while supplies last, KitchenTableStamper.com/shop, and then use the filter. It'll be on the right hand side if you're on a desktop or laptop. It'll be at the bottom of your mobile device. Filter for class packets, and you will be able to see if we have any of these left available for purchase. There is a coordinating stamp camp class that is not public on the blog. It'll be available only online with limited class packets while supplies last. So before we get started with Thanks a Bunch, check out Enjoy the Sweeter Things, which is video number 1 in the series. And check out Sending You a Big Squeeze, video number 2 in the series. And let me give you a quick sneak peek at our stamp camp. So the stamp camp is fun folds and treat packages, and the class is either available online only, so you'd get videos, PDFs, supply lists, photographs, everything that you need to supply your own materials and make the projects, source links for the treats, everything virtual, digital that you'd need to make these in the online classroom. While supplies last, there is a class packet for this, and you can find that in the Kitchen Table Stamper store if there are any left in that same KitchenTableStamper.com/shop, and then filter for class packets. The class makes 3 fun fold cards and 2 treats. Our first treat is a lemonade treat box for these Crystal Light picture packs. You're going to love having this template and measurements. The Crystal Light picture packs are available in so many great themes. You'll use this box again and again. We've got our flip flap fun fold card. So it flips and it flaps, and it is just gorgeous. And then a simple step card. So easy. You're going to love this little hack. And coordinating gatefold card, lemon crate gatefold card, and the coordinating tic-tac-toe game pocket treat. And the lemonade and the game are included if you get the class packet. And if you've got any questions about this coordinating stamp camp or about the Stamp a Stack, you can email Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com. All right, so let's get to our card today. Thanks a bunch. We've cut our paper in video number 1 according to Wonder Recipe 17. We've got 2 Thanks a Bunch cards to make. So let's take our remaining pieces of Designer Series paper, and we're going to divide them for 1 for each card. So in the last section, we have 2 by 3 of each of our designs. We have 2 by 3 and 2 of our designs, and then this 1 3 by 3. So we're going to modify this so that we can make 2 of the same card. You can do this, or you can arrange the 3 by 3 piece on your last card and just change up the layout if you like to. But the fun part about the Wonder Recipes is that they're not set in stone. They're not rigid. You can modify if you like. And so we're going to just go ahead and change this to a 2 by 3 piece. We've got this little scrap here. Use it inside of one of the cards maybe, and cut it into 1/2-inch strips. They'd be really cute when you decorate the inside of these cards. There's enough cardstock in your class packet for you to cut white liners for these and stamp them and decorate them. So this little piece divided in half would be really cute little accent inside the card. All right, so let's get back to my packet here. This is the extra Designer Series paper. Got the clear rhinestone, or the clear sequins. This is what I have left after doing 2 of these class packets. You're gonna have a bunch of that left over. You get your envelopes, your card bases are cut and scored for you. We do not emboss for you. You'll have to do your embossing. Anything with the Sweet Citrus bundle, you'll do. And I went ahead and embossed all of my card bases in video number 1. We do the basic die cutting for you. We include a Stampin' Up! Envelope. Our basic die cutting for this one though is just a little bit tricksy. Let me show you in case you're not getting the packet. You're going to cut your own kit. Let me show you what we did. All right, the bubble bath banner is cut using the Stylish Shapes dies. We used the biggest banner, this long wide one, and cut it in half. So we cut that from bubble bath, then split it half for each card. Now this tag, I couldn't resist. It is from a retired Stampin' Up! Die set. You might have this one. If you don't have it, don't worry. We did the die cutting for you in the class packet. This is from the Pretty Pillow Box dies, and it is just the perfect size and shape for this thanks a bunch greeting. So we did that on a basic white for you. All right, now the first thing we're going to do, just like our other 3 cards, is we are going to adhere the designer series paper. And you've heard me say it enough probably now, but if I was doing this not for demonstration purposes, but for my own self to stamp a stack, what I would do is emboss all my card fronts, cut my designer series paper according to the Wonder recipe, and then glue down all of my designer series paper pieces. And I'd work these not in designs like I do when I'm showing you, when I'm demonstrating, but instead of doing it in designs, I would do it in batch. So all of the embossing for all of the cards, all of the stamping for all of the cards, all of the gluing for all of the cards. But the best way for me to demonstrate it is 1 card at a time. But keep in mind that batch work for this is really pretty awesome. All right, so I rolled the chicken lip end of my banner up, and then I'm gonna pop it onto the card. I'm putting some glue on each of these little 2x3 inch pieces. And as I add the different layers, I'm taking the time to just give them a little adjust. It's kind of a wild party of designer series paper swatches, plus that cute little tail at the end of bubble bath cardstock. So there is your designer series paper plus your little die cut. It's kind of a wild layout, so let's do the same for this one. All right, pretty awesome. I love this. It looks like a party, doesn't it? All right, let's slide those aside, and we're gonna do some stamping now. We cut our 8.5 by 5.5 inch basic white paper down to 4.25 by 3.5. It's a really great size for stamping our fruit and then running it through the hybrid folder. So this time we are going to do some limes, and let me grab some ink pads. We've got Lemon Lime Twist, Garden Green, and Granny Apple Green for this time around. Our fruit is going to be Granny Apple Green for the peels. I love this combination for limes. I've tried several different combinations. I love this one. The Garden Green leaves, Granny Apple Green skin or peels, and Lemon Lime Twist for the flesh of the fruit. Again, you can see the line where the edge of the stamp pad went across the lime. So just make sure that you ink that little guy last so that you don't leave it with little lines across it. You don't want a striped lime. That would be no fun at all. Let the ink transfer, and let's do our fruit. So for the inside of the fruit, we're going to use Lemon Lime Twist. Ink that up. And lining it up is pretty easy. Photopolymer, just kind of get above it and take your time. When you got it, press and hold, let the ink transfer. Looking good. And there are our limes. I love that color combination for the limes. Now we're gonna do our leaves, and the leaves are going to be on the strips that we cut. So we cut to 4 1/4. There's our strip. Let's do some garden green leaves. You need 3 for each card. Stampin' Up! Made the Sweet Citrus die set with 2 of these leaf dies, and 2 of the 3 flower die. So for the sake of video, I'm just gonna do the 2. Let's get our bubble bath cardstock here. We're gonna stamp the 3 flowers. The flowers are Berry Burst on Bubble Bath, and they're a 2-step flower. You're gonna need 1 set of 3 for each card. So there's your Berry Burst outline. The centers are separate, which is kind of nice because then you could have different color outline and centers, which is very handy for lots of design choices and some versatility. There's our flowers. Let's get our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're gonna die cut the flowers and the leaves. Oh, look at that. I left it set up to do our hybrid embossing. So let's do that first. I've got 1 and 4 in our hybrid embossing folder. Here's the die. Now the die goes in to the Stampin' Up! Side of the folder. So we got the Stampin' Up! And we want to flip and drop the die right in there. It'll only fit in one side in one orientation. So if you're having any trouble at all, you've got either the wrong side of the folder or you've got to rotate. It'll just drop in nicely. Now, I like to turn this over. So I'm holding the die and the folder. And then I like to bring my fruit in from behind. And I'm going to line that up. I'm going to pinch it closed with one hand, pull the other hand out carefully, drop it on 1, don't let it shift, pop 4 over the top and give it a crank. It's going to cut and emboss each one of those lime pieces. And wait till you see how gorgeous. Look how gorgeous that is with all of its fun textures. Now we're going to save this one for the inside of your card. And we're going to reset our machine for die cutting. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Our leaves and our flowers. Give that a crank. And there's our garden green leaves. Aren't they beautiful? They're going to look great with our granny apple and lemon lime twist limes. Got our samples back in here and our cards. And we're going to start assembling our lime very much the same way we did with the others. So we've got our half slices. Got our halves. And we've got our slices. We're going to put dimensional on those. We've got our full round slices. We're going to put liquid glue on those. Remember to keep the adhesive toward the center of the object because then we have room to tuck our little leaves underneath. Even for our citrus here for this one, because we're going to tuck some leaves behind it, keep the adhesive to the center. And we're going to pop our circles, the full round slice on first. Then we're going to bring in our half and our slice on dimensionals. Then some liquid adhesive. We're going to add some liquid glue for the leaves. And we'll tuck 2 on this side. And 1 opposite for a little triangle balance. So cute. All right, let's do our little flowers. Put some dimensionals on the back. Before we add the flowers though, let's stamp our tag. We didn't do that yet. So don't peel the release off of those quite yet. We're gonna slide them aside for just a second while we get our Night of Navy ink pad and our Thanks a Bunch greeting. We'll stamp those tags so that the ribbon will thread through on the right side. Thanks a bunch right in the center there. Perfect size. We'll give that a second to dry before we thread it with ribbon and tie a bow. All right, for our bow, we're going to thread front to back. We're going to loop over the top and tie. Usually I don't tie that kind of anchor knot, but this ribbon is kind of thin and wily, so it helps. It's not going to add any extra bulk either, but it will keep our knot secure. So tie that anchor knot. I usually skip it so that we don't get that extra bulk at the center, but for this ribbon, it's a good idea to go ahead and tie that knot first. All right, so we got our pretty loopy bows. Let's cut that away from the card. Very good. Need some dimensionals again. Let's get some dimensionals on the tags too. Right in the middle is a pretty good placement for that. Got our cards back, and we're going to add our tags first and then fill in with our flowers. Love it. Your ribbons are a little too generous with the ribbon like me. Go ahead and take a quick trim. That's better. Now our flowers, let's remove the adhesive and add those guys in. You're looking for a triangle placement. There we go. One more time. And then the final touch on this card is also those beautiful iridescent sequins. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and add 6 to this card. I'm going to do 3 kind of going down next to the tag here, and then 3 going up from the fruits here. All right, one more time. All right, there it is. Thanks a bunch. Our final design in the kitchen table stamper Sweet Citrus Stamp-A-Stack. Be sure to check out. Sending you a big squeeze and enjoy the sweeter things. And don't miss out on the coordinating stamp camp. If you have any questions, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com, and shop Stampin' Up! 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.